Alright, cool. So we're gonna go ahead and start the replay now, and we're gonna watch you as the Master Yi in your cool little Jedi skin thing. Also, I really don't recommend grabbing teleport. That's another thing I would really want to make for it, because you can't make any flashy plays, and having no flash as a jungler like Master Yi, right? And so hold up, go inside the Google document. I'm gonna do replay analysis. Master Yi. Remember, we're gonna actually highlight a focus for today.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be making our focus warding properly in the jungle and learning how to use those wards to give you intel on the enemy jungler. Okay? And this is really important, and I'll tell you why that's important. Okay? Just first off the bat though, we're gonna add right here. Don't grab teleport on the jungler, and actually on a passive jungler, okay? And I'll tell you why. Generally, you don't want to grab teleport on a jungler in general, you know? Like, you don't want to do that because it just seems kind of awkward, especially like being a champion like Master Yi. Like, it's awkward because, let's say you get counter jungled by Lee Sin, and you are against a Lee Sin, you know, who's like one of the strongest counter junglers in the game, right? If Lee Sin catches you on a camp while you are doing it, right? And you cannot flash away, especially since early on you do not have your ult, right? You will most likely die. Like, Master Yi doesn't really have any escapes inside his kit. All he has is really his meditate, which you can outplay sometimes, you know, because it has no casting animation anymore. It's just instant, right? And you can even auto attack cancel if you meditate. But it's just kind of key to say right now because you just imagine like you're doing your okay, Lee Sin has a red buff, right? Let's say Lee Sin has red, and you're on your Wraith camp, let's say, right? And then out of nowhere, while you're doing this Wraith camp, Lee Sin comes in and you're at half HP, and he's like full HP, right? In this scenario, do you think you will live? Especially since you have no flash. He'll just come inside there, slow you, and then get a free Q on you because he's in your face. Like, how do you miss a skill shot that's right in front of your face? Like, it rarely ever happens. If it does happen, it's one really huge fuck up, of course. And that's why I just want to bring it to your attention, because like I see a lot of people do this on Udyr and stuff for some reason. They're like, yeah, I'm a jungler that needs to farm a lot, so I'm gonna grab teleport. And I just ask them why. You know, you're a jungler that needs to farm a lot to become effective, correct? And maybe even so, it's okay, I guess, if you're against like a Moo jungler or something like that, you can actually get away with it. But you're in platinum now, you know, and you're playing against like players that will, when they see that, they'll try to abuse that mechanic. Generally speaking, not all players are good at jungle, like, so, and they might not all be playing it properly, of course. But I'm looking to like kind of make you the best player you could possibly be. And this is like one thing you never want. This is like a bronze, silver type of thing that you see, you know. If you watch that one guy, Calstep, he never grabs teleport on his Master Yi. You know what I mean? And there's a good reason why. Like I just said right there, Master Yi's not really. He's an okay duelist early on, right? But when you have no flash on him and you get counter jungled, it's just something that you have to be really careful about, because he can easily just kill you.
Yeah, I was surprised there because I think I walked on a ward, like when I was taking their red, and like they just gave me it for free. I don't know why they didn't kill me.
Right there, I'm not really sure either too. Well, Akali's really weak level 1, so she wouldn't be able to do anything inside that level 1 fight. But I don't think the Lee Sin was paying attention, and he ran to his blue buff instead and just finished his blue buff. He doesn't even know that you took the camp, actually. All he saw was Mundo throw a cleaver. He didn't see you inside here. All the Vi saw was Mundo throw a cleaver inside here, and the enemy, they even checked that you're inside there. And I don't know. Usually what happens is when you take this buff and it's warded, right? The other jungler will sometimes just come here and kill you, or he'll like go take your opposite buff, you know, so that way he gets both his buffs. I don't think this guy's a really good jungler though, so you're actually okay.
Yeah, I didn't think he counter jungled me at all in this game.
Yeah.
Counter jungled him more.
That's kind of weird, yeah. I mean, at least then there's a reason why he's so strong. And like the reason why Lee Sin's one of the best counter junglers is because not only is he a very strong duelist inside the jungle, he also has a ward jumps. That's like a free flash early on, you know. So he can get out of sticky situations really easily. Yeah, so actually this game's going good so far. I don't see where it's going wrong. You had a pretty decent start. You stole his buff right early on, so you have a huge lead on him at the moment. Not only that, and like here's something that you should be doing right now too. So I want you to recognize this. This is like a very rare scenario. If you ever do steal the red buff like this, and for some reason your red buff is still up for grabs, right? What you should instantly do after you take that second red buff and your blue buff, like if you secure 3 buffs, right? I know I see this happen a lot when like people that get 3 buffs, they don't take advantage of it. If you secure 3 buffs, look to go in the enemy jungle and fight the enemy jungler. And there's some repercussions you have to take before doing that. Check if your top laner or mid laner is stronger than the opposing enemy top laner or mid laner, okay? And I'll give you an example. Talon is stronger than Akali early on. So if you counter jungle, right? Talon can come help faster than Akali, okay? And that's really key when you're counter jungling too, because like you always have to keep that into mind. Like let's say you're counter jungling at this raid camp and Lee Sin is like right there as well. He just shows up right here in this bush, and you start fighting, right? You're both full HP and you're fighting, correct? And inside the scenario, Lee Sin will most likely win. But however, what if Talon has Akali pushed to his hurt, right? Then Talon can flash over the wall and get to his scenario really fast, and he also has a gap closer, whereas Akali doesn't have anything, no gap closer early on. Does that make sense? So you want to look for things like that too. And then like, you know, let's say you have a Nasus top lane, right? And you want to counter jungle their golem camp, correct? Do you think that that'll be a good idea? Let's say like they have like a Renekton top and you have a Nasus top lane, and you try to counter jungle this. Would that ever be a smart thing to do? No. You can see what I mean, right? Yeah. Do you ever consider those things, by the way? Like whenever you counter jungle? Because that's like the biggest thing you gotta consider at like when you're counter jungling. How fast can your teammate come to help you, you know?
I know, usually when I try to counter jungle, I usually just get myself killed.
Yeah, and so that could be why too, because maybe maybe you just try to counter jungle when, you know, you like maybe you counter jungle when you don't have like the proper assistance. Does that make sense? So that could be a big problem. Another thing I want you to keep note of right here too is if you secure these red buffs, Lee Sin doesn't have a red buff, you know what I mean? So what does that really like mean? Well, since Lee Sin doesn't have a red buff, you have a red buff on him, and that means you have you're that much stronger than him, correct?
Yeah, but would you think I could like kill him in like a 1v1 situation, like if I?
Yeah, definitely right now. Like at this moment you can, because you have a red buff over him, whereas he doesn't. Yeah. It's a huge boost in your damage. Like it does 16 extra damage over a second, right? And it lasts 3 seconds. So at level 1, a red buff could do like 48 additional damage, like on top of your auto attacks. And it also slows them. It slows their attack speed too. Because it just says, it doesn't say slows movement speed. It says slows the target, which means it slows them in both attack speed and movement speed, right? On top of that, you know, it just makes you that much stronger than he does. Like if he's ever running away from you, he can't. So like let's say you catch him at the river, right? And maybe Lee Sin beats you, right? But your Talon's gonna help you faster than the Akali will, right? Then what's gonna happen is when he's trying to run away, you have that red buff slow on him, whereas he doesn't have that red buff slow on you. Does that make sense? Red buff is very powerful, and it makes you like become. If you have a red buff over the enemy jungler, most cases you're a lot stronger than they will be. Most cases, right? Cool. So I just wanted to kind of bring that to attention because seeing that you're not counter jungling, kind of not abusing the fact that you have a buff on top of the enemy is kind of bad. Also take note, since he doesn't have red buff, right? His jungle clear is not as good. So you see how low he's getting right now when he's clearing his jungle, right?
I don't know, I was just trying to like farm for my.
Yeah, I know you're just trying to farm for your fail flare, but doesn't mean you can't counter jungle and still be effective in the game while trying to counter jungle. Does that make sense? Like, you know, you will still be getting feral flare stacks if you're counter jungling him, and you're setting him further behind. Let's see how this goes right here.
I think I burn a couple. Yeah, I burn a lot of stuff here. I almost die. I think. Yeah, I almost die here. Like, ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's something I want you to kind of note real quick too. When you're ganking, right? With teleport, you know, it's not really safe to gank with teleport. And the reason why is, you know, let's say you're fighting this guy, right? And you waste your Q on him, right? Now that you just wasted your Q, right? Do you have any source of getting away after he like stuns you or something like that?
No, I think
No.
I walk on the chompers too or something. Yeah.
I mean, she just throws the chompers on top of like where you Q. Does that make sense? She just threw it like where on top of where you're gonna go, and she knows that you can't. The only thing you could do is run backwards. You can't flash over the chompers because you don't have flash.
Yeah.
And the point I'm trying to teach you right here is that when you don't grab flash on a jungler, it really hinders your ganking potential. What if this Lee Sin was like full HP, right? Oh, I'll just safeguard inside here, throw my Q at you, you're dead, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, this guy's just not that good of a jungler, of course. He even lost like half his HP like level 1 because of some weird shenanigans. I'll bring it back real quick so you can see. Like, he lost a lot of HP level 1. You'll see it right now. Hold on. Yeah, see, he lost like a lot of HP right here. And then he's forced to burn a free potion right here for no reason, you know what I mean? But to bring back the point, you know, you have a really, really weak gank potential when you burn your teleport like that. Or when you grab teleport.
Yeah, because if Jinx got that killed, I think I would have screwed my bot lane over because they would have
Yeah.
buffs.
But then for some reason your bottom lane does something really stupid too. So you TP behind them, and they could have actually just ran away. They have, you see how this guy has heal right here?
Yeah.
Oh wait, he has flash, right? Instead of running away, he runs forward and tries to get a kill on the Karma. You know what I mean? Since you don't have flash, right? You can't follow him when he flashes away too. So that's another reason why it can kind of really hurt your ganking potential. Okay. Alright, so this is what I mean right here. You'll see the power of the red buff. You know, you have a red buff on him, and he doesn't have a red buff on him.
Really good with him.
Yeah, and then like you see how when he's running away, you get like extra auto attacks off on him, right?
Yeah.
Whereas when he's running away, it's a lot more difficult. And if this town was a little bit better, instead of like running all the way around here, he probably could have just came through here and killed that Lee Sin for you. But you can see what I mean, right? This red buff makes you win the 1v1 right there. He's so much weaker than you. Plus the level advantage you get from taking the extra buff on him. Because buffs give you like almost a full level up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah. And so, you know, here's something you want to look for it right here too. And I'm actually going to just play with blue side vision. So you see Lee Sin is at half HP right now, right?
Yeah.
You're at like somewhat full HP and you still have a red buff, right?
Yeah.
If you ever chunk the jungler, right? The jungler in a trade, or see him low after, or if you ever chunk the jungler in a trade or something like that, like how you did right now, or you see him low after ganking a lane, right?
Yeah.
Look to counter jungle. Okay. And the reason why is because if he tries to do a camp when he's at like half HP, like how he is right now, and you catch him while he's doing that jungle camp, you might be able to burn a free summoner, steal away that camp that he's trying to take, or even kill him. Okay?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like you see what I'm trying to say, right? I'm trying to like kind of give you something else to kind of view right now. Like maybe.
Yeah, I should like counter, like deny Lee Sin more because I have like.
You got a really good start on him, yeah. Yeah, you got a really good start on him, and that's how you can kind of push that lead if you ever do take that red buff. Like, you know, if you ever do sneak it and you take that red buff like how you did right there, then you want to be the one aggressing on the enemy. Plus, you're level 4 and he's level 3, right? So since you're a high level up on him, usually that means you're stronger than the enemy. Especially like early on, levels matter a lot. Gosh, this guy's just like trying to counter jungle you when he's level 3. You don't ever want to do this too. If you're at a disadvantage like how this Master Yi is right now, right? He's level 3, he's weaker than you at the moment. You don't want to counter jungle because sometimes the enemy could just turn on you, and like on top of that, you know, your teammates can come and help you faster when he's trying to counter jungle you. Okay. Because your bottom lane's winning right now. They could just collapse on you if he tries. Like, let's say he tries to fight you on his golem camp right now, right? That this Tristana's just gonna come back and like rape him.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Oh yeah, just a general question. I always pink ward by like that bush by my over here. Yeah, right there. Yeah. Not that one. The one over the top.
Right here.
Yeah, right there. Is that like a good pink ward spot?
Okay, so something you want to consider before placing that pink ward here, right? You want to consider also if you could defend that pink ward as well, okay? Like, let's say you're against this Lee Sin right here, and he's 3-0, right? If you place that pink ward inside here, and the Lee Sin walks up and just starts taking that pink ward in front of your face, can you stop him?
No.
If the answer is no, then you have to place it right here, okay? It matters a lot because this is like the pink ward you get if you're winning. You place these pink wards if you're winning your lane. You place a pink ward here if you're winning. You place a pink ward here if you're winning, or like, you know, you can counter jungle effectively and like safely defend this ward if the situation arises, okay? Because you don't want to like just let the enemy, you don't want to waste 100 gold like that early on and then just have the enemy come in there and just take it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So only place a ward inside there if you could defend it, and that's just it. This ward provides a lot of vision. These are the best wards inside the game, getting it inside these bushes. So if you can secure that ward, that's great, okay? But you want to make sure you can defend it as well. Also, another thing I want to take note of real quick is like on your first recall, right? You finish your Madrids and you bought a couple potions, and that was good and all. But next time,
long sword, right?
Huh?
I should have went. Oh wait, never mind. Yeah, long
No,
sword, right?
no. Next time, you want to make sure that if you have enough money, right, to finish an item, like let's say boots, or like if you have enough money to purchase an item, but don't have enough money after purchasing that item to buy wards, right? Like let's say you have 325 gold, right? And after you buy a pair of boots, correct?
Yeah.
You can't buy any potions or wards. Make sure you're buying potions and wards instead of finishing that item, okay? Or buying those pair of boots or that longsword. Because wards are more important than, let's say, a pair of boots, okay?
Yeah, because I didn't think I bought any wards this game, except for that pink ward, but yeah.
Yeah, so you want to make sure that you're buying wards because of the fact that, you know, Lee Sin's going to try to counter jungle you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you have that ward there, you can see him. Like, imagine if you had a ward right here when he was walking into your jungle. If you saw him walking into your jungle, correct? You could just collapse on him and kill him. It doesn't even matter if you had a long sword or not. Your teammates would have saw that. Your teammates would have saw him walk over this ward. Your Talon would have saw him, and then your Talon's just gonna like start running downwards, and you guys trap him inside a corner, and you guys will kill him or burn his flash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So always be looking to do that, okay? If you can, if the opportunity ever comes, if you can do that, buy wards instead of boots, because wards are more important. Because when you can put someone inside a 2v1 situation, right? Most likely you'll always burn a summoner or get a kill, as opposed to just having the extra long sword. Like, what does the extra long sword even do? You know, it doesn't really do much. So I'm just trying to like kind of point out to you because I see this happen a lot, even inside Diamond. You know, if you have enough money to purchase an item but don't have enough money after purchasing the item to buy wards or potions, don't buy the item and just buy wards and potions. Okay. And that's just for general uses. Like mid to late game, if you don't buy wards too, you find it really difficult to take objectives off the map. And it's just because, you know, you don't know where the enemy is, and so like you don't know when the enemy's grouping or not. And that could be really problematic late game. I'll show you exactly when that becomes problematic later inside this game, if you guys can abuse it. We'll see.
So in this situation, should I have given the blue buff to Talon?
I mean, if Talon doesn't ask for it, you could just take it. Giving the blue buff to Talon is good, but at the same time, he doesn't really need it, you know what I mean? Like, he's doing fine without it anyway. And if like, unless people demand it and are actually doing good, right? You don't really want to give it to them because, you know, solo queue is kind of all about yourself in a mean way of saying it. But it's kind of true, the sad truth. So like, here's an example right here, you know. You leave the base, right? And you still have 260 gold, right? You want to make sure you're spending that gold to buy wards, okay? Because like imagine if you had bought that pink ward, right? Bought 2 wards, switch this to a sweeper. You want to make sure you're also switching to sweeper. Switching to sweeper ASAP after your first recall or second recall, okay?
Yeah, I think I had that trinket for the whole game.
Yeah, you don't want to have the trinket ward for the whole game. You want to get like a sweeper because then you can deny vision, and like let's say if Lee Sin places a deep ward inside here to see where you're at all times, or like he sees you're doing this brave camp at half HP and you don't sweeper inside here, right? You could just come in and sweep in for the kill, like I was stating earlier. Remember? So, yeah, make sure you're using your gold if you can. Okay, gold's valuable, and also imagine if you had these wards, right? And you went inside the jungle and you placed a ward right here. Now you'll always see if Lee Sin's by this wolf camp. And if you ever see Lee Sin at this wolf camp, right, then you can go top and you don't have to be afraid of him being top lane because he's at his wolf camp. Does that make sense? Yes. Or if you place a ward right here, right, and he's doing his rave camp and you see bottom lane's really low, like right now, then you wouldn't be afraid to dive them because you know that the jungler is not going to be there. Kind of see the importance of wards right now and like kind of how they play out, and basically.
So if I was counter jungling and let's say I would in this situation, would I win a 1v1 against Lee Sin? Because
yes.
we're both level 6.
Oh, you're both level 6? At this point, no, actually. If Lee Sin's level 6 right now and you're level 6, he won. You didn't really abuse the fact early on that you had a lead on him, right? So then now you guys are both even because you didn't really take advantage of your lead. And you can see how this kind of hurts you and bites you in the ass in the end, right? Because you could have been the one aggressing him, like preventing him from hit level 6 before you do. You know what I mean? But for some reason you chose not to, and now you guys are like basically on par. Your gold differences are not even big at all. You're only like 200 gold above him when you could be potentially even bigger in gold lead. Whereas like you see how Tristana, she did a really good job of pushing her gold lead after she killed the Jinx, right? You see how she's 700 gold above him. You could have done the same thing to that Lee Sin, or maybe even worse. All right.
So, what do you think is the average time you should have your Feral Flare? To be successful.
An average time you want to have it at is just before the 20-minute mark. Okay. Just finishing your Feral Flare before 20 minutes is just what you need to do, if you buy that. And if you still want to be like putting a presence for your team, then yeah, that's when you want to finish it. If you just farm camp straight up and never gank a lane, you should finish it by at least 14 minutes, okay? But that's not the case this game. You're obviously roaming and helping out your team a lot.
I think we screwed up here, or I think we screwed up. Yeah.
You just screw up here, yeah. And it just kind of shows you right there, you know, like how bad it could be about having that flash. Does that make sense? Because what if you had flashed earlier? Like, what if you're able to flash right now when he's not inside the turret range and get on top of him? You probably could have killed him. Yeah, before she got into under turret, and then you would have been safe, and maybe even picked up. Well, probably not kill that Braum. Braum's really tanky and pretty OP, but you see what I mean, right? You probably could have killed this guy earlier before he got into turret range. And that TP is doing nothing. You didn't even use that TP once. Actually used it once to get like a lucky kill bottom lane, which was only because the Jinx did something stupid. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, don't get TP, man. It's pretty useless. Yeah, it's not really doing anything this game. I'm not trying to be mean or anything. I just trying to show you that it's not really helping you at all.
Yeah, I see why now.
Maybe that's why you're doing bad too. Yeah, it just cleans up. And like, imagine if you had placed a ward inside this right here, you know, before ganking bottom, while you're running by mid lane too. You had a great opportunity to place a pink ward right here while you're running down bottom lane, like right here. You see? What if you had just placed a pink ward inside here? Then you could have seen Akali running down from here, and maybe the situation. Yeah, there'll be spam pings, and you guys wouldn't have all gave her like 3 kills for no reason. You know what I mean? So. Looking to buy wards and using them, and you can see how they kind of make like, yeah, of course sometimes you can just pay attention to mid and you can see that she's just missing from mid lane, so she could be coming bot, but having that ward there to give you that, like, you know, that secure vision, you know, and like just have like a better idea where the enemy's going to be at is something that you want. Okay, so Wards allow you to make plays. They also help you stay alive. Okay. All right. So, and the key thing here is if you have wards, man, you want to place it as soon as possible. Okay. Because there's no point of just keeping that ward inside inventory. Actually, potentially, you know, if they see you have wards in your inventory, they can predict where you're placing the wards, and they could just sweep it or take it away, you know, and make you waste that 75 gold for no reason. You want to buy wards so you can place them inside a spot so that you feel safer, you know. If you place that pink ward inside here, right? Just imagine if you did. You feel safe. You'll see that, oh, Lee Sin's not in this area of the map, right? He's not standing right here. So that means if I make a play mid, I don't have to expect him to come from behind me and kill me and kick me into the turret. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
It just gives you some security and allows you to play aggressively and, you know, lets you get away with more things too, because then, like, you'll know not to run that way after the fight. Alright, cool. So we're gonna go ahead and jump to the mid game. I can kind of see, like, you know, right now a lot of kind of like amateur mistakes. These are really common mistakes too, so don't feel like that you're like doing anything bad. It's just that this is things that can hamper your gameplay. They're bad habits, you know. Look, if you haven't still placed this pink ward like 5 minutes later, they're just bad habits I want you to be aware of. Like if you buy a ward, you want to place it right away, because the longer it sits in your inventory, the longer it's not being useful. Okay, and generally it's a gold sink if you're doing that. Like if you buy a potion and you never use that potion, right, then that's just a gold sink. It's just taking up potential inventory space to buy certain items that could actually help you. Alright, so never really just, it just makes sense, you know. Why do you even get that item? Why do you get items, you know? And then if you don't use them, what's the point? It's just silly, but it's very common. Like, you're a platinum player right now and you're still making these mistakes, you know. It just shows that. Like, even look at this Braum right here, right? Same thing. He has a pink ward inside his inventory, but he's not placing it. He's just keeping it inside there. So, like, he could have easily just ran before he came into lane right now. He could have just ran over here, jogged a pink ward on dragon. Now he knows that you're not doing dragon. If you ever try to sneak dragon, then he'll see it. You know what I mean? I don't know why he just doesn't do that. And it literally takes like 10 seconds out of like the game. Like, what games usually last like 30 minutes. It doesn't hurt you at all. And also here, you know, what's the point of placing this pink ward right here when your top lane's winning? You know, if he gets ganked by that Lee and Vi, will it even matter at all? No, what matters more is that your bottom lane is okay, because you want your bottom lane to be strong enough to handle a Kali when a Kali jumps up on them, okay? So placing the pink ward around here. And plus, you know, you want to be able to see if Lee Sin is ever inside your jungle. So placing this pink ward will help a lot. You don't need to worry too much about top side.
So
but yeah.
Let's say though, like I get a lot of feral stacks, right, and I want to sneak a Baron. Is that like a good spot to play?
You want to drop the ward on Baron.
Oh,
yeah, you don't want to be trying to do Baron. There's a ward like back here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And plus, it's really hard to solo Baron as Mastery too. You have to get like really fed.
Yeah.
I think you need to have like a Feral Flare and Blade of Ruin King at like the 18-minute mark if you want to solo him. And if you don't have those items and aren't level 13 at least, you're not going to kill Baron. There's just no way. You have to be really freaking fed if you want to do that. I mean, of course, maybe you can get that fed, but no, it's not really something optimal. You usually want to just do Baron with like a team member. And before you even do Baron, you want to make sure you get a ward like right here. You want to get a ward right here. You want to try to get wards right here as well, so you can see if the enemy is ever coming towards Baron to put a ward on Baron. And if, like, you know, let's say you're doing Baron, you're at full HP, right? The Baron's at full HP and you just started, but you see the enemy on a ward right here, right? Maybe that would be a bad decision, because that guy could walk over here, place a ward right here, and then by the time he did that, Baron will probably be only at like 75% HP, and then he could just
probably steal it.
Well, maybe not steal it because it's at 75% HP, right? But they could like tell their teammates and make you waste your time trying to kill Baron, and you guys will be at half HP because you guys tanked Baron. Does that make sense? Yeah. Anywho, let's just go ahead and watch what happens here. So you guys burn her flash, right?
I think I in front of her and cancel her Q, right?
Yeah, you did.
But I think I died in the process.
Oh, that Vi is so dead though.
I think Mundo cleans up. Yeah, he cleans up.
Yeah, this is actually fine right here. Doesn't turn out to be the best situation for you, but Mundo got a couple kills, so it's Talon. Mm, yeah, this.
I think this Akali escapes somehow, like with like 5% HP or something. I don't know how she lives.
She just runs away, maybe. Oh, this guy has flash,
Yeah,
and
oh
she
no.
she just dashes to it and she gets away. Maybe I hit that cleaver, then she would have died, but she has flash. Yeah, like I said, I saw it all happening. Like she could just dash away to the minions, kind of like how Aurelia does.
Yeah.
Also, just another kind of key factor right there. Like, you know, I'm just gonna bring it back again, show you again why that teleport just hurts you. Let's go ahead and rewind. So, like, you know, imagine if you would have been able to flash over the wall. You know, after you guys got this like kind of battle right here onto this Vi, you guys most likely would have gotten away. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I
Because then, like, watch,
would.
at least send safeguards over the wall, then you just flash over it.
Because their whole team's over the wall right now, so.
Yeah, the whole time. Yeah, and they have no flashes too. So it just showing you why that teleport. Like you haven't used teleport again, in like what since that first game, and it just the answer just really is there is nowhere to TP to. You know what I mean? There literally is nowhere to TP to, like at all on the map. What you're gonna TP bottom lane, and what are you gonna do? If you TP bot lane, Mundo's winning his lane really hard versus Vi, so it's gonna be pushed to the turret. And if you TP mid lane, then you're just taking all his farm.
Yeah, I'm just
So
putting my team behind.
yeah, so that's like it's like a silverish type of play style where you just steal all the farm from your teammates. It doesn't really work either because you know at this elo, even if you had gotten fed, Vi would just focus you and kill you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Jinx also can kill you really fast with her ultimate. Yeah, let's go ahead and see what else. This game kind of looking really strong. You guys are looking like you're going to win this game because your team's like primarily late game. Tristana's late game, Mundo's late game, you are late game, you know?
Yeah, I'm pretty much getting carried this game.
Oh, I mean, you probably do your fair share, but you could be doing a lot better, of course. But you're definitely doing your own fair share of the game, so. Probably get this kill right here on this guy too, because Braum has no mana. Yo, you got that crit too.
I think I ran a 5% crit or something. Okay.
Wow. Why do you have 5% crit? Okay, let me go ahead and show you something real quick too. That could also be something that hurts you. You never ever want to buy crit runes. Here, if we type in Master Yi into Pro Builds, are you familiar with this website?
Yeah.
Wow, this is so weird. I don't know why these guys grab teleport as well. This is so silly, but look like Meteos right there, alright? Don't ever grab it. You want to grab attack speed, because you don't, you know, crit is very unreliable when you're clearing camps. You want to grab physical damage and attack speed, okay? And Meteos is a jungler, so he understands, you know, why it's important to grab flash. These guys are, I think Arrow is an AD carry, Gleep Larbu is a support player, you know what I mean? They're not really good players when it comes to jungling. Snoopy, jungler, grabs flash. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Crumbs, jungler, grabs flash. And they do it because it's important. You know, they understand why you need flash. Because if you get counter jungled and the enemy's on top of you, you're gonna die. So yeah, these are only the support and AD carries grab it for some reason. And they're also playing under Smurfs. So that's why they get really fed. Yeah, this is not even a challenger game right here. Alright, anyway, just wanted to show you that real quick. On the rune page builds, you want to grab attack speed, okay? Attack speed and maybe some physical damage for for Wuju style, and getting that passive right here. Because, you know, this is why he scales off attack speed, the double strike skill.
So after Wriggles, would I go for?
Yeah, generally go blade. Yeah. You go blade or rune king, and then you know, again, you should be buying wards, okay? Maybe not even finishing your Bilgewater Cutlass, okay? Because like, if you don't have enough money to buy wards, you don't want to finish Bilgewater, okay? Instead, just buy those wards and place them down on the map.
Should I buy as much as I can, or just
And just kind of like buy whatever your money kind of allows you to buy. Does that make sense? And then you should probably only end up with like 2 or maybe 1, or 3, or even yeah, 2 to 1 or 3. Also, this should be a sweeper too. So the thing about trinket wards is that it's not as good as like, let's say, a sweeper, because you could like, you know, substitute a trinket ward by just buying a ward itself. You know what I mean? But a sweeper, you can't buy a sweeper inside the shop. Like, no item kind of fills that niche, okay? Whereas the sweeper, whereas a ward and a warding totem are the same exact thing, okay? So that's why you want to switch to a sweeper. And plus, being able to, like, let's say if you go inside the enemy jungler and you sweep a ward right here, now you can counter jungle, and like the enemy has to play like back because you're counter jungle. Yeah, it makes him scared. And if like the enemy's ever overextended and you sweep the ward and he tries to make an aggressive play and you're like right here, just kill him. Okay? What are you doing there? Just chilling at the wall.
I think I should have TP down here.
Wait, if you had TP? Yeah, you should have TP down here if you had TP. You're not using your TP at all this game, other than that, so it would make sense to do that.
Yeah, just clean up too.
I mean, that's what Mastery does. You don't really gank with Mastery, you just kind of come in for that cleanup. Does that make sense? Yeah. You know, I just see a lot of like kind of like the mid-game mistakes. It's kind of like you don't really buy wards, so you're not placing vision inside the enemy territory, so you can't really make plays. You know, like let's look at your vision right now. This whole entire black is map. Like this whole entire map is black. You know what I mean? So like if you ever do want to counter jungle his blue, you just can't do it effectively because you don't know where the enemy's going to be coming from. You need to make sure you place wards down inside the mid of the game. And that's like the biggest thing right now. Just need to buy wards and place wards in the enemy jungle so you can make proper plays in the enemy base, okay?
And it allows me to, I guess, use my TP there, I guess? I don't know.
Yeah, also allows you to use your TP, but it's really weird. Like right here, this is very unsafe right here because like, you guys see how you're at the turret right now, right? All the enemies in the enemy, like most of the people on the enemy team have already respawned. Like Jinx has already respawned, correct? Yeah. So I mean, enemy team's coming as well, and you need to make sure you have wards so you can kind of like prevent them from like having this happen right here. Because see how they're still trying to take this turret? Oh, wow, it bugged. But you know, I have no idea what's happened here. It's bugged out right there, but. Could be really risky when we don't have wards inside the enemy jungle. Actually, right now, I'm pretty fed. Yeah, Bladed Ring King and Feral Flare now. This is like the time you want to have Feral Flare. So it's a good thing you still have it finished right now. Like, you just want to try to finish it like by like the 15 or 16 to like 20-minute mark. Okay, 20. If you don't have it before the 20-minute mark, it's kind of like ineffective.
So I think the next item I go is Ghost Blade. Is that a good item or?
Yeah, that's a fine item. With like Master, you generally only build damage on him, so. And like you don't engage fights as Master E. Does that make sense? You just wait and then you go in and clean up at the very end, or you go for the flank. Like, you see how you're like running into his team fights with Master E right now. Like, you don't want to be the one engaging on people, like how you did right here. Like you saw how you just. No, but that's the thing though. And that's the thing though. You like. Even though it looked like you can catch him out, right? What happened to you? You got kicked into the enemy team, and as soon as you got kicked into the enemy team, what happens? Yeah, pretty much, right?
Because one, I don't have flash, and we don't have much. We have some vision, but not that much.
Yeah, you actually had a lot of vision, and you can have an idea that they're in right here because no one was mid lane, no one was top lane, and so you had like a lot of vision because of that. You know what I mean? But still, the thing is that you just have to remember right here is that Mundo is dead, your tank is dead. If you go and at any point try to engage onto the enemy team without them being low, you're gonna die. Someone's gonna die. You have to, and the only person that can go in without getting killed instantly is Mundo. So as soon as you engage on this guy, it's a bad call. And I just want to write that down for you, okay? When like maybe you're playing Kha'Zix or something like that, or you're playing Vi, you never want to engage on the enemy team unless you are an engaging champion, okay? Vi, Maokai, something like that, okay? If you play a jungler like Kha'Zix or Master Yi, you are looking to flank the enemies that are low once they are low. Okay? Alright, cool. Let's see, how much time do we have? So it's like an hour. I'm like kind of low on time today, so after I finish this replay, I guess that'll be it for today, okay?
Alright.
We're almost done, so it's not too bad. But yeah, this is why you guys lose this team fight. Like, you know, you're really strong right now. You have Feral Flare and Blade of Rin King. It's just that you didn't really get a good chance to open onto the enemy team and like get on top of the enemy carries because you ran straight for the tank, Master Yi right now.
Yeah, we lost
2 for 1. Imagine if you had instead gone around and then you got a flank on these guys while they're doing damage onto Talon or Karma or Mundo if Mundo was alive right now. Then this Jinx would just drop like a fly. You know, Master Yi does so much damage if you can get on top of the enemy and don't get bursted down instantly. Anyway, it still isn't that bad. But I just wanted to show you, like, you know, how you want to play these team fights. And of course, again, right here, buying wards so you can place it inside the enemy jungle. So like right now, it's not too bad. You guys have a really good vision to secure this dragon right now. Like, you see how your Mundo just starts it right now, and he's like safe. He doesn't care. He just tanks the dragon, and he's not scared of the enemy coming because you guys have a ward here, here, and here. Like I said, having wards allow you to get away with what would be called stupid play. Okay, so that's what you want to be doing wards. And like, maybe you guys aren't too afraid to go for this blue buff or walk up into the enemy jungle because you guys have a ward right here. All right.
I think we take it.
Yeah, you guys aren't afraid of taking this blue because you guys have vision of this right here. Like, you know, you have vision of the blue buff. You see it's still up, and so you guys know you can take it. Again, wards helping you make plays, you know? And so right now, like I said, just having wards down inside the enemy jungle, you can kind of just tell where people are. Even using minions to kind of tell you where people are. Like, I bet you right now, right? So I know Vi, we know Vi is top. We know Jinx is top, like middle. And we saw Lee Sin right here, right? There's a really high chance that Karma, the Braum and the Syndra, or sorry, there's Braum and Akali are like in this side of the map. Just because they can't go out here safely, right? Because this is such a danger zone for them. Like, this is where you guys are at the moment, you know, this area. So the only area they could possibly be is in this general area. And you can see how you can kind of just tell that by just placing down wards too. It gives like a general idea of where the enemy's gonna be, right? So you can see Akali's here. So you can make plays like that on the map. And you know, like, maybe going for this Vi is kind of risky, or running through this river could be risky because you know they can't be bottom, so they have to be somewhere on the top side of the map. You know what I mean? All right. So just kind of watching right now. You know, your farm's actually not that bad either. Of course, it could be better, but you know, you shouldn't be taking lane farm anyways, because you know that's usually what's better to give for like Mundo or something like that. And right here, you see how two of your teammates are dead, right? You don't want to try and defend this, like the turret that's low. You want to defend this turret right here. So next time, beeline for the second turret, okay? Because because since they see you right here, right, and they know you can't just like flash over the wall and help out or something like that, right? They know they can take this for free because this is a 2v5 right here. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Because they know you have to walk all the way around. And if you guys try to engage on them, who will win? You know, the people. Yeah, because they outnumber you guys. So as you can see, numbers advantages are like the most important thing when it comes to late game. It doesn't matter how fed you are. Even if you're like 6 items, right? You can't just run straight at 5 people. You'll still die. See, the moment they catch you out, because you don't have like good wards inside your own jungle, right? You instantly have to ulti because you're just scared. Yeah. And that's kind of Talon's fault for not being there, but you have to recognize that since Talon's not there, yeah. You see how the Talon's playing this fight? That's how this is what you should be doing. You see how he's able to get 2 kills like that, right?
Yeah,
he just goes in. He waits for the fight to happen first, then he just comes in for the cleanup. That's what you need to be looking to do as well, because then by that time everyone would have already used their stuns and slows. Like you see how Braum has no stun anymore. They have like no CC to get rid of that Talon. All they have is auto attacks to kill him, and before they even kill him, he gets like 2 kills. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think it was better if because Vi ulted me, right? So if she ulted Talon.
I mean, if she ulted, it doesn't matter. It would have been the same way. You would have killed everybody. You guys have 2 assassins, so they need to be just peeling the whole entire time. If she ultis Talon, then Talon dies. You go in and kill everybody. So vice versa. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So do you always go Zerker Graves on Master E,
or? Sometimes I grab Ninja Tabby. Sometimes I don't really grab Mercury Treads that much on him, especially not this game because they only have like 1 stun. You know, this guy. You can't really stop Vi's stun with Mercury Treads, so. Probably better if you had gotten Ninja Tabby this game. Well, plus you guys do it really fast. Like it takes you guys only like 15 seconds to do Baron. But he should have tried, because as soon as he saw that, I don't know if you noticed too, but Smite War is always a 50-50 chance. You never know how it's gonna go. You always see pro players giving up smites, but it's just because it's really hard, you know. It's really hard to actually time it effectively. So it's like, it's not who's the better player. It's just like who kind of got luckier, or who coordinated it better, you know, with his team. Of course, there's no coordination involved inside solo queues, so it's just luck. There's no like burst at 1,000 HP. You can't do that inside solo queue because you can't just tell people that. They'll be like, "What? 1,000 HP? Do you mean 3,000?" Yeah. So this time you guys have Baron buff, so you guys just push down mid, right?
I think yeah, the Baron just kills the game, because like we siege so hard, like they couldn't stop our siege.
Just see exactly what happens. So you guys push down mid, right? I'm guessing they messed up somewhere, because then you know even if you guys have Baron buff, because this game's still kind of even, 23-24.
Yeah, we just
right?
had too much poke, and like they just gave us so much time.
I don't think that's it. I know the enemy messes up somewhere. Yeah, so like you see this Braum, right? He's taking free damage for no reason. Like, why is he even up there? Why is he trying to poke you guys with his Qs? You guys are just gonna heal it up because you guys have Baron buff, you know what I mean? So that's just silly. You don't want to take free damage against the enemy when they have Baron buff. Because then now this Braum's half HP, he's scared to engage.
They just keep getting hit by a car.
And then when Braum engages when... No, it's not that no one falls up. It's just that when Braum engages, right? Everyone in this team is kind of low already, right? So when they're fighting you guys, they're all like already half HP before this fight even began, right? And so your Tristana just cleans up because everyone's so low.
I shouldn't have front line.
Yeah, you don't want a front line. You want to just wait for the last second to go in. And Tristana cleans up. Yep, and it's over. Alright, we're good. So how'd you enjoy the lesson? Usually there's more to this as well. It's like we kind of like jump into the game and apply the things that I kind of talk about. But it's kind of like a really short lesson today, so I can't really do everything. And on top of that, yeah, it's a little busy, but I want to give you something to kind of work on for your homework and focus. I just want you to focus on, again, I put a lot of emphasis on this because I realized you were not doing it at all, right? So, in just a small thing, you'll see a huge improvement in your gameplay automatically. I just want you to focus on doing this. Why more wards. Alright? And look to use them as soon as possible. Okay? So when you buy more wards, you want to look to use them as soon as possible. And on top of that, right? You want to make sure that you always buy wards instead of buying an item like a longsword or a pair of boots, okay? And I just want to include an emphasis on this because wards allow you to place, okay? You can go into the enemy jungle, counter jungle, or even potentially kill him if he is low, okay? Another thing I want you to pay attention to is if you have a lead in the jungle, right? Look to counter jungle. And focus the enemy. I'm sorry, look to counter jungle and put a presence on the map. Yeah. Set the jungler further behind. Okay? And last one. I think there's one more thing I want to stress here as well. Recognize your role in a team fight. Okay? If you are playing a jungler like Nautilus, then you just peel for the AD carry. If you are playing a jungler Master, don't engage. Alright? Cool. Any last questions before we kind of just finish this up, wrap this all up?
What junglers would particularly you recommend? Because, you know, Lisa is one thing.
Well, you know, you see, you have a comfort in buy, right? And ultimately the goal for you is to kind of gain elo. So, you know, just kind of working on the champions that you're good at. Because, you know, you're not in the best tip-top shape for those champions yet. You know, you're not in challenger with buy, so always kind of just work on that. Play the champions play to your comfort is what I'm trying to get across to. So, play comfort champions. And champions I'd say are buy are really good for you, render. Because you like to kind of just engage and jump in there, right? From looking at that game, I can see it's kind of like your playstyle. I think Master Yi fits your playstyle too.
Yeah, I just like it hard engage and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. You feel like you want, and plus, you know, you like the one that just likes to start it all and like cause the team fight. So like looking at people like, and someone that's kind of like Master Yi, but kind of has a different like kind of same niche is Warwick too. If you ever want to play a jungler that's kind of like farming and scales well into a late game, just play Warwick instead. Maybe you'll enjoy that more too. Alright? So buy Rengar, Warwick, maybe who else? You know, Lisa actually is pretty good for engaging too, because you just flash between a few balls and then there you go, you start the fight. And she's not in jargon too, so I think these are a good 5 champions for you, because they're all kind of like engaged at the same time. They can tank too, so they kind of fit your role and niche better. Alright? Cool. And of course, also use probuilds.net if you need to know like what builds to use. It's a really nice website. You'll see how to use it right away. It's kind of self-explanatory. Cool, man. Make sure next time you can record like another replay too, and maybe we can shoot for a lesson like on Tuesday or something like that. If you want to go, yeah.
So this is for done.
Just for today. That's it. We're just done for today. Yeah. You see, you learned a lot for 1 hour, right? It's not like you didn't learn anything. I'm pretty sure you learned a lot right now, correct?
Huh?
No. I gave you something to focus on too. How about we get a lesson on Tuesday? How's that sound? And maybe we can shoot for a 2-hour lesson the next time. How's that sound? How about we shoot for a lesson on Tuesday and maybe go for a 2-hour lesson on Tuesday?
I'll see. I'll just message on Skype or on
on Skype more. Okay? Because I'm not on League that much. Because whenever I'm coaching, I don't really log on my main. Because in like, let's say like you're in platinum, right? What you want to do with someone inside challenger, you wouldn't really much for getting stomped, and also it puts me a little lower in Elo as well. So I'll log up to the smart. Sometimes with my girlfriend, yeah. So if you want to do that, fine. Maybe like when I'm free. Alright. Oh yeah, did you like it or not really?
Yeah, I actually got it's little things that makes the game. Like, if I did more or something told me to, I probably would have cared more than I wanted to.
Oh wow. Yeah. Oh hey, actually, I actually got the payment right now from. Oh, actually, I got wow. Law coaching is not bad. They gave me a full $100, like 100% receipt. So like, you know how you pay $25 right now into your thing? It just went straight to my PayPal. I was like trying to figure out. I was like, where did the money go? Like, I'm so confused right now, right? Because it wasn't on the website. And then I looked at my email right now, and it says that I got the money forwarded straight to the PayPal from Law Academy. It's pretty cool. Alright, cool. Well, I'll talk to you later, man. Hope you had fun again.
One more thing, is it okay if I decide to upload this on YouTube or?
No, go ahead and upload it on YouTube.
Thanks, man.
No problem.